is this refreshing to actually be talking to somebody and not just a dead dot. I love it. Hey, Lily, how you doing?
Hey, John, how you doing? I'm good.
Oh, we're okay. It's been an interesting week. Not an exciting week, but it's been an interesting week. Let me get up some news while we're talking here. That's what we normally do. Throw up some news. Where is it? There it is. This is news I've looked at over the last 10 days. It's all OTC market news, prime news, mergers, acquisitions, new deals. If you haven't got time to look at it now, come back and look at it later. It'll save you a lot of time from having to search. So this has been one heck of a week. My list of warrants has been growing. The market's getting slower and slower on the OTC. How's the major markets doing here?
Actually, the major markets broke out, like SPY broke out, and the rest of them kind of followed it. It topped out around 418, and I suspected it would come down. If it got over 421, I'd have been amazed. But it is kind of cooling off right now.
You think the small hike rate we got for the interest had a lot to do with that?
I do. I want to say they had a jobs report today, and it wasn't as good as they anticipated, and we're going to have some things like that. The major market for the next year, no matter what they do with the interest rates, we are still reforming and trying to control this inflation. We're still going to have issues.
Oh, yeah. This is it's not just we've been through recessions before, but this is a different type of recession. They've got new factors they're working with. And to be honest, they don't exactly know how to fix it. And I wouldn't be surprised if AI came into the picture to try to help like it did with COVID. I mean, new problems deserve new solutions and new eyes. I guess AI's with LiDAR now has got a good view on things. All right. We've already gone through the news once. It's recorded, so we don't need to do this again. All right. Hey, did you have something you wanted to talk about before we jump into this?
Yeah, Velmore had asked, I think it was last week, about the NWGIW, so the warrants for NWGI. Velmore, I did look into it real quickly. The ticker NWGI is not listed anymore, so I found through Twitter, nowhere else, and I went and confirmed it. The parent stock for that warrant now is ELYS. So, and I think it might be a part of the gambling stuff. I'm not sure, but I just wanted to mention that's the main ticker you would watch and see what news is going on. ELYS, if you're going to watch the warrant, which will be NWGIW. I hope that helps.
All right. I actually don't have any stocks to look at from Twitter, Facebook, or anywhere else.
Everybody got quiet on you, John?
I don't know. I don't ask questions. I only answer them. So we're going to jump right on into the list we got here. We had one coming real early by Jerome. Is Jerome's up there? Where's Jerome's? Oh, it wasn't Jerome. Yeah, it was. Where did Jerome's question go? Well, anyways, I did have a answer for him, and we got AIAD up on the board already here. AIAD, as the name suggests, they are into advertising using artificial intelligence. And both of these are hot, folks. AI is big. Advertising is making money, always has, ask Facebook. The company's had a big surge here recently because of news that came out. I've got that news. Where did that news go? Well, I'll be doggone. I had 2 pages here. I know what the news was. The news came out right there on the last day of January. They got with ChatGPT.
Are you sharing it?
Pardon?
Are you trying to share the news? Because I don't see it.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I am. I definitely trying to share the news. So let's get that up there. I thought I was hooked up. I'm glad you caught me before I got too far. Hey, there we are. So this is AIAD, AI advertising, finished today just a little over a penny, down 15% on the pink tier and current. She's got a transfer agent and she's got independent directors, which is kind of interesting. She's on the pink. You don't need independent directors for nothing else really but uplisting. So if they've got independent directors on the pink, they probably have ideas of uplisting. And they're in a position now. They're starting to make money. They're starting to get their business growing. So now would be a good time for them to do that. Well, the news that came out, as I said, was at the end of January, they got with ChatGPT and OpenAI. Now, this is one heck of a company, folks. They just came out December of last year, and they own the internet right now. They had 670 million hits last month. They've only been here since December. It was Netflix that used to own the internet. They had 86% of all the bandwidth and traffic was for Netflix. This company has just broke every single internet record out there ever. It has got 92% of the internet broadband market right now. That's how big this is being used. And this company tapped into it. Now, just so you understand, ChatGPT, OpenAI is not a company that people are doing mergers with or acquisitions. It's just a subscription service like your internet or your Netflix. It's just a cloud service that they can tap into the AI. And this company, AI Advertising, has bought a subscription to ChatGPT, and they're using that AI with their AI to come up with better advertising campaigns to make more money. And any company right now that is putting ChatGPT, OpenAI in their headlines, you'll see the stock start to run. If they put it down inside the news, they get bumps, but they don't get the runs. It is a key word right now. But understand, there's not a company. Another thing you need to know is they do plan on going public. It's already in the talks, and they think it's going to be worth $21 billion. That's what they think it's going to be worth from the jump start. So there's a lot of attention around this, and that's why AI is running. AI advertising, that is. Her financials, she did 6.8 million at the end of 2021, and right now she is 2, 3, 4. Looks like she's probably about that right now. So we don't see a huge increase or anything going on with the revenues right now, but they've had that deal. And we know that AI helps revenues in a very big way, especially with advertising. And the reason that is AI is getting to know us oh so well that it can predict. It can predict what we want, predict when we want it, and where we're most likely to go to get it. It's going to get rough, folks, to have any independence. AI is going to know you better than you do. And we've got no new filings over here. So let's take a look at that chart, Lily. You've got it all whipped up for us, I'm sure.
Sure. Yeah, I do. This is right here. It's the last year. We did go over this, I think, last week or the week before. This blue line you see is a resistance line because you can see where it was holding support before. I wanted to identify that again. So let's get a little bit closer what's been happening. I'll go to the last 20 days, 1 hour. Right here, I showed you where there was an uptrend. You can see that. It's very basic, but you see it. It actually broke out above that resistance, but came right back down. And I told y'all it would hold this area right here if it was still a good play. And it did. You know, so I was really impressed to see that. Let's get a little bit closer, 5 days, 5 minutes. See how it keeps on coming back down to this line, which is the top of where that trend was, where it actually broke out of this trend. So since it's doing that, we've got another opportunity right here. And we'll look at today's action in 1 minute. The opportunity is right here, right now. So it's possible that this one continues. You may still find this area right here of 0.016 as resistance, because I've already identified that for you. You see it right here, it's struggling. But it's possible it comes back up to that. If it keeps building, y'all, it's going to break out over that and keep building up. So this is a safe-ish, that's what I would assume, safe-ish area to play this zone, and that's what I would do. But I'd also set a stop. If it starts breaking back into this trend, I'm out because this movement right here is over. And so I would wait and reevaluate. So really, this one's looking really nice, John.
I thought so too. I think it's on the verge of a breakout. If I was to talk about it, this would be one of the stocks I would pick to look at for the day because the charts are warm. You're looking for a trend change. You're looking for volume buildup.
So
and
if it
got hot news, I mean, it's got all the boxes ticked.
It does. It does. And if it breaks back into this trend channel, just basic that I put up here, then I would be patient and wait to see if it's going to hold in these lines. And so we're coming back down. We're trying to revisit, and I don't know if they will, the 100-day simple moving average. So it might come back down and touch that. I don't look for it to if it's going to hold this current trend, though. Okay? So that's what's important. Right here at this area, 0.011, right around that area
Ooh,
maybe
what a buy price.
point
Oh,
0.010, somewhere in this
think
area. If it
about that.
holds, we're good.
You pick it up at 1, soon as it hits 2, you've made 100% gains. Just like that. It hits 3, 4, triple, quadruple your money. Buying on ones is intelligent, especially if you're in a trend. If you're in a channel, you're in there and she's bouncing from the 1 to the 6, back down to the 1,
That's
back
what
to
it's
the
doing.
6. Oh my God, that's a dream come true.
So that's what I would watch for, and then set stops below that just to keep you safe and to have a smart play if it's going to continue. Nobody can say for sure, but like John said, it's hot right now. This news is kind of hot right now.
All right, I got another one here from our viewers today. We're going to take a look at COSM. Let me bring that puppy up for you. You see me? Yeah, you see me this time. This is Cosmos Health. She's just about that far from not being a penny stock. We're not going to be able to talk about this stock soon. $4.78. She had just a little dip today of about 5%. She's a penny stock on the NASDAQ for maybe another day or week. I don't know. This is a international pharmaceutical company. They've also got a line of generic pharmaceuticals and nutraceuticals as well. Looking at their share structure, you got a low float. Now, I don't know if it's exactly this, but it's under 10 million. That's all you got in the outstanding. So we do have a low float. Financials, yeah, they're holding their own here. Boy, they made 56 million at the end of 2021, but only got to keep 8 million of that. Drugs are expensive. Quarterly, well, they're doing pretty well. They're holding up $12 million. And remember, we've still got one more quarter here. And sometimes those financials are actually listed here over in the disclosures, but they just haven't got them up into the system yet. 8K. Ooh. Oh, right. Right. There's a reason we're looking at this. I forgot all about that. Let's see if this covers it. 2 decades in. Nope, that's appointment. All right. This is what we found for this one. Was in the news. First off, they just uplisted. Dual listing on Upstream. I'm not real familiar with Upstream, but I believe these are different types of stocks and cryptos and stuff like that. And people are trying to get listed on these major exchanges and then over there at Upstream. And then they got a piece of news here that came out 2 days ago. Cosmos Health announces initial purchase order with Virax Biolabs for the distribution of COVID-19 and influenza A+B antigen combo rapid tests. Everybody's still into these rapid tests.
They're just testing everything.
Yeah, I think our medicine cabinets now have test kits in them for more than just pregnancy now. So I don't know how hot this is, but obviously the company is still catching a lot of attention right now. COSM and COMS, which was the other one.
I was wondering if you were going to bring up COMS. Now, I heard, I'm not sure, but I heard they did a reverse split. Do you know that?
I'm unaware of it. I would have to look that one up.
Okay, just wondering.
You want to show us the charts on COSM?
Yeah. I'll get it pulled up. Sorry, I wasn't ready. I was too into the talking. Here we go. Okay. All right. So COSM, it was sitting around $3.01, and then it took off, and this was like January the 19th. So right at the middle of January, nice uptrend of $7.44. Here's what this is only the last 20 days, you guys. 1 hour chart here. What I don't like is that it's under that trend line. This is where I would watch it. It hasn't let it go just yet. It's not too far. So if it holds in this area, then we may revisit the upper areas here. So it could be a good spot. So again, this is another one. It could be a good entry point.
If it crosses over, if it comes back into the channel, that would be my confirmation for buying.
Absolutely. So the thing is, some people, and you can leg in. Some might want to buy an entry spot here, buy a little bit more as it's coming up. But
when your confidence builds.
Yes, always set your stops just in case this one's going to cool off and it's not going to snap back into and continue this trend, because it may not. If that happens, then you have some room here to let it come back and revisit this $3 area, $4 area. It might come back and touch that and before it settles. So just keep an eye on that. And you could find a good entry here for a nice play. Very possible. Back to you, John.
Belmore also wanted me to take a look at AMIH, I believe it is. Yes, AMIH, American International Holdings.
Okay.
Let me see what we got here. American International Holdings is an investor, developer, asset manager diversified across healthcare supply chain. Thanks for getting to it. Healthcare is what they're into. Share structure for the company, under 100 million. Not bad. Could be a real nice float, but I'm presuming it's probably closer to 100 than not. Financials, not making a whole lot of money, $20,000 at the end of 2021, and they're decreasing from 10 to 3 to zip. Not making any money right now. That's not very assuring. They finished today at 12.5 cents, and we're up. Look at that. They're up 28% today, and I'm not seeing anything here. Let's take a look at the news. Maybe something came out today. That's at the end of December. Majority owned. Right. They had just gotten obtains controlled substance registration from the DEA. And we talked about this maybe last week or the week before. This is a big deal. The DEA does not release control to these substances that they consider to be worthless or dangerous. And this company got it. And I had done a search to see what substance it was they were talking about, and I couldn't find it. Cannabis is still on that, list, but I didn't think it was cannabis, and they don't mention it. So I have no idea what it is, but their e-scripts is selling pharmaceutical drugs and nutraceuticals, which you don't need prescriptions for, through the mail. That's how they're selling their products. And it's big business. It is big, big business. So that's all I really see new here. Disclosures, I don't think anything new has come out. They've had nothing out since their quarterly report back in November. So that's all we got going on right now. She is a QB, so her financials are being audited. She's got a verified profile. And again, you've got independent directors. In this case, without doing a deep dive, I don't know if they use them to get to the QB or if they're looking to jump up. Although the way things look right now for the company, I wouldn't think they're interested in uplisting yet. All right, we're ready to take a look at that chart. If you are, Lily.
The chart's beautiful. So we've already looked at this. This blue line was the old one from when we looked at it. So I just went ahead and colored it blue.
Wow.
Not confuse anybody. So probably we looked at it around this area. It lost the trend, but it still held and it consolidated. As soon as if you would have had this trend line here, as soon as you saw it break back into it, especially with this kind of strength here, you would know to go ahead and get a position. I mean, just this is textbook right here. It's gorgeous. And I'm going to get a little bit closer, 5 day, 5 minute. This is your new trend. This red one is the one I just put on here. New trend. It is totally broken out and it's rising quickly. So you'll expect it to stay in this trend line. If it doesn't, you definitely expect it to hold above this one, the old one, which is around 0.0077.
Yep.
So that's what you're looking for. Right now, it seems to be revisiting and holding that 50 day and then going right back up. So far, we're in the current uptrend, and it doesn't look like it's stopping anytime soon. But I could be wrong. So you can be patient with this one. You can wait till it revisits this 0.01 area to see if it's going to hold this trend. There will be a good entry there. So I always exercise patience. I don't chase anything. I wait for those dips, which, I mean, we're on a dip right now. It's happening right now.
Patience can make you money. There is no doubt about that.
Always. And then sometimes the morning when the bell rings, sometimes you see some sell-offs there. And if you already have your lines in there and ready, you pretty much know what you're looking for. So sometimes you get
Warren
a nice
Buffett
entry
always
there.
Says that people do not exercise patience properly. He says you should be impatient when your stock is falling and be patient when it's rising. And if you look at yourself, you'll probably see you're the opposite. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying it's human nature. It's weird.
You're right, though. And he is too. So I look for it to hold, if this trend is going to continue to hold the 0.0113, somewhere around that area.
Looks like Brad Earnhardt wants to look at HVCW. And I was looking over here for the news. I know Harrison Vickers and Waterman was involved with some sort of merger. I can't remember which one it was, and I can't see it over here in the news, and it wasn't too long ago. I see that they've been doing quite a lot. Actually, that's old news. Right up here is our new news. Wins bronze, joins Modern Pro Solutions, projects $150 million for this year. And Modern Pro Solutions confirms artificial intelligence, here we go again, and installation partnerships. I think this artificial intelligence is going to just become a buzzword, and you're just going to see it everywhere. It's going to be tough now to figure out who's legitimate and who's not. Announces partnership with artificial intelligence company as well as a large installation partnership. The company retains best-in-class members. I don't see any dates. I don't see any money here. So they're making deals. Obviously, that's to their best interest. I see they say they're a shell risk here. Ooh, look at that price. 0002. This is going to be a barcode on the chart, most likely.
It is.
Dotted line. Financials probably aren't going to be impressive. No, we've got nothing. Nothing coming in whatsoever. And I'm afraid to look at the share structure. Oh, come on. Yeah, all right. So we got 8 billion shares in the float. We're not making any money. They're doing deals. They're a shell risk. It's not attractive to me. Now, maybe if you got patience, this is when you'd want to practice it, because this stock needs some time.
The thing is with that kind of patience, I mean, you have money that's going to be sitting and not working for you in other plays that are hot right now.
Yeah, don't marry a stock. Don't, well, I believe in it. I believe in it. Well, believe in it later. Come back when it decides to get out of bed.
Just keep visiting. Keep visiting often and see what's changing.
All right. Not that it's going to be too impressive, but go ahead and show us the chart for
It is interesting because I think we went over it before. So this right here is a 3-year. And the reason why I had this blue line, because I said it would be a resistance, which it did. We had a run going and it did hit that blue line. We had a resistance there and it did not go over it. And this is where I cautioned. I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Let me go to the 180. Sorry. Last 6 months. So it wasn't that's the blue lines now. This is old. It was an uptrend. And of course, I would always tell you, if it's going to lose that, you don't want to be in this anymore. And it did. So, and it never reclaimed. It got close, but it cannot reclaim it. So now the red one represents the downtrend we're in. So, and that's what the trend is now. It's going pretty much from where it started off. It's right back to it. So there is nothing exciting happening right now.
I was right. It was back in August. 2022, Harrison Vickers and Waterman merged with Pacific Energy Network, a California limited company. And there hasn't been anything since. I mean,
and this run was in August. You're right. That's what this was.
Oh, is that okay?
Yep. This happened in August.
And that's the problem. News are only words you're reading. Filings are activities that the companies are actually doing. If you're going to put any relevance on words, make sure you're getting them out of filings and not news presses. I'm sorry to say, you can't trust news. It'll hype up, but what did they get out of it? This was back in August, and we still don't see any revenues. They're not talking about anything they're doing.
And shell risk, So it's in a total downtrend. And if you look back for the past year, this is barcoding here, and it's back to barcoding. Just a little bit higher than it was, not too much. So really nothing's happening with this one right now. You can keep visiting and watching it and wait for it to get out of this downtrend.
Wait for the next piece of news that gets it all hyped up.
And I will say the share structure on that one, I hate it. It's huge. So you're not going to get much on that.
All right. We got another one here from Keo. Stock Wizard, what's your thoughts on ENZC? It's waking up. ENZC. Let's see what we got over here for it. I recognize that ticker ZC, but I don't.
I do too. Analytics. I recognize that.
We're about just about a nickel for it right now. Up about 5.5%. Still on the pink, but she's current and she's got both those green ticks. This is real important, folks. Don't neglect these. If the stock doesn't have this, I would be concerned. Playing a short trade, you probably don't have anything to worry about. The house won't burn down that fast. But a long one, man, without this information validated, the stock is in soft ground. I wouldn't trust it. All right, what do we got here? Too many shares is what we got. 2.3 billion in the float. Ouch.
Ouch.
Let's see what this company is. They're committed to the commercialization of proprietary proteins for the treatment of debilitating infectious diseases. All right, so they're working with something novel. Financials, are they making any money doing it? Well, they had $200,000 at the end of 2021 and got to keep it all. In that sort of business, how do you do that? Giving people advice maybe, and they're making nothing right now. Nothing coming in whatsoever. You got to remember, every single stock on the market is here for one reason, to make money. That's why they're here. If they're not making money, they're failing at what they're supposed to be doing. News, anything going on here? And I don't mean to be rude to anybody. If you really care for these companies, I'm not trying to slam them. I'm just giving you my opinion for whatever.
We're just trying to help.
Honestly, I'm just giving you my honest opinion, and it's just an opinion. That's all it is. We do have some new news here. This came out yesterday. The company announced preliminary results of GLP toxicology study for its anti-HIV. You don't hear that talked about much anymore. Therapeutic ITV1 and production of ITV1 for initiation of registration in Africa. I don't mean to be giddy here or anything, but shouldn't they have brought it there first? Shouldn't it have gone to Africa first? In either case, that's big news. I don't know if anybody pays attention to HIV anymore. We've just got so much else going on in the world. Feline monoclonal antibodies, that was just last month. They're developing that. So they're obviously doing a lot. But here's the thing. They sound to me to be strictly a research and development company. R&D. R&Ds need money. They don't have anything. They're shooting for commercialization. That's what they're hoping for. They all are. But until that point, they got to spend money for all the research. They got to pay all the people. They got to use all the equipment, pay for the lights. And where do they get that money if they're not selling something?
Shareholders.
Yeah, they get them from the shareholders, small or big. And if they can't find a big investor, you can count on them putting more shares on the market. And that's how you end up with a ton of shares like they've got, 2.3 billion. And they're getting close to everything they've got, 3 billion shares. So I don't see a whole lot going on with this company until they actually get a trial going. You know, if they said they were in phase 1 trial, even though that's 7-8 years away before the drug's approved, it would get a bounce because it would mean they were doing something. R&D, they're doing something, but nothing that's good for us yet. Not really. So ENZC, she's making a bounce. I'm not really quite sure why. On the news. On the news. Somebody is still thinking about HIV. All right, let's take a look at that chart. See if she's worth considering in the short run.
No. So
okay, let's go to the next stock.
I will explain a little bit. I mean, it's just, granted, you see some runs here. You do have some pops, but the overall trend is just a flat line right now. Until it breaks out and decides it wants to hold, we don't have any movement, especially with that kind of share structure. It would take a lot of volume, you guys. So let's go back a little bit further just so you can see the past year here. It's overall still in a downtrend, even though you're getting these pops. So that's the one thing that concerns me. Yeah, if you want to play this trend from the bottom of it to the top, you can make a little bit of money there, like 0.03 to 0.05. But nothing exciting is happening, especially to sit there and like do a play and leave your money and just wait. I don't like it. So I've seen better volume on other days, even though it had this news. So it doesn't seem really exciting. Anyway, it could be on an uptrend right now, just from this very current trend from today. Because you can see this is the last 5 days, 5-minute chart here. It is trying to build up. It had a nice pop here. So it has potential, but not much because of the share structure. So just be very careful with this one.
Okay. Mike Seppi. Hi, guys. Can you look at EEENF?
That's not the first time I've heard that one.
That's why we're here. Actually,
I played that one. I played that one.
See,
way back.
They all come around sooner or later. EEENF is 88 energy. Finished the day under a penny, just about 9/10 of a cent, and about 6.5% drop. She's on the pink tier. She's got independent directors. Remember, you got independent directors on the pink. You're not wasting your money. They're on payroll, and the only reason you need them is the uplist. So they're thinking about it. So what does this company do? I get the feeling they're into oil. I don't see the word oil anywhere here. There it is, right at the top. 88 Energy is an Alaska-focused oil exploration and appraisal company. Boom. All right, what sort of share structure we got on this company? Well, I don't know what the float is, but the outstanding is 15.8 billion, and I'm going to assure you that the insiders don't have that many of the shares. So there's going to be a ton of these on the market, billions and billions of shares. Not a lot of shareholder value here. Financials, any value over here? No. Why do you people keep bringing me these zero stocks? Because you're invested in them and you're hoping things are going to turn around. I get that, folks. I got 120 stocks, and I think 80 of them are in this sort of boat. These last 2 years have been horrific. Ever since February of 2021, it has not been nice. So we got no money coming in here whatsoever. So what are they doing? Well, SEC filings tells you what they're doing. An active company is a company to keep your eye on as long as they're not all putting shares on the market. You want 8Ks, 6Ks. You want these sort of filings, Form 4s. Yeah, they got nothing. They're doing nothing. They're making nothing. You know what I think about it? I got nothing to say. Let's take a look at that chart.
Well, I will say that this one was so hyped up back in the day, John. Oh, my goodness. So this is a 3-year chart. This is where Lily played EENF.
Is that February?
Yeah, it was around March, beginning of March. February, March is when I was in it.
2021.
2021. Yes. And I just wanted to explain, because you're like, oh, wow, this could happen again. This was a totally different market. This big old candle you're seeing here.
You gotta remember, folks, that candle is the month when all of us got that last check from the government, that stimulus check. And most of us were content. We had already received 2 of them.
Yes.
So we just went out gambling that last check. I'll bet you the casinos got a lot of business that month too.
Yep. And it went to 0.2. I mean, it was an amazing play. I wasn't in it at 0.2. I was already out back here, but still lots of gains there. The problem is the share structure and not having any financials. They had a lot going on, a lot of buildup, and a lot of hype.
Not really.
And that's what I played. That's why I played it. That's the only reason why. I didn't believe that they were going to promise whatever they were promising. I was out. So right here, we are on a slight uptrend, as you can see, and we're breaking out right now. But you can tell, like right here, we broke out and came right back in. So it doesn't mean anything. You have to keep an eye on it. We can get closer because that's a 4-hour chart for the last. But
I do like the way it looks.
Yeah. I mean, it's building up, so I don't hate it, but I want to see it hold like above the 0.0083 area or 0.008. You know, your 200 is on the 0.0081 right now.
Well,
so,
she's sitting
and
real
it did
firm
revisit it and pop right back up. So this is an opportunity right here. You could have some gains here.
What SMA is your yellow?
My yellow, that's my 50.
Yeah, me too.
This is my 50.
Yeah.
And my blue is my 13 because that's how I day trade. Either 9 or 13 is what I use for my day trading. And then the other one's just 100 and 200. Because sometimes it will settle on the 200 and then it starts building back up.
I like that pennant that's building up right on your 50.
Yes. That's what I was noticing. So a little bit more red bars here than I would like, but you know, it's happened before. It came back and revisit the 100 and it built back up. So keep an eye on this one. It's very possible you could get some quick gains here. This is a little bit closer. Let's see what it did today with the 1 minute. You know, I'm gonna go to 5 minute because the 1 minute's just so messy.
Yeah, 1 minute's choppy.
It's so messy. All right. So today when it opened up, you know, this is a 5 minute and it kind of just, meh. And you don't have a lot going on volume wise, not just yet, but keep an eye on it. It did retouch that 0086, which is the area I was wanting it to hold. So it's already touched that. I would watch this one into tomorrow.
Before you go jumping off your charts, we got a question specifically for you.
What's that?
Lily
I can't
Star,
see it.
what is the chart on Diddy? DIDY. No one talks about it. I got it at 285 and it's been climbing steadily since last summer.
DIDY. I don't have that. I'm on TD Ameritrade. It says MSDIDYPU. It says it's Morningstar. And it's like
you don't have DI. All right, I'm going to see if I have it.
I don't see it. DIDY. No.
Oh, right. I see what you're looking at.
I see DIDI.
Are you using a Canadian ticker maybe? A lot of people give us a Canadian ticker by accident because I don't see anything there either.
Maybe give me the company name.
Who, me? I don't know what it is.
Or who, the person that asked.
Oh, wait a minute. How about DIDIY? Diddy Global. Try that.
DIDIY.
DIDIY.
Okay, so this is $4.42. Okay.
Now check where it was last summer. He says he got it for $285. See if we've narrowed this down for him.
I see $1.40, so yeah, it's possible.
All right. Okay.
285.
If we're wrong, please correct us. If not, go ahead and show us the chart
on
Diddy.
Yeah, June of last year, we were around 286, 285, and it came back down. Yeah. Yeah, right? I can see that June and August. Whoa. All right, so this one cooled off after that little bump where you got in last summer. It cooled off, but we're building up now. I really like how the chart looks right now, actually. And I'm going to put you a little trend on it real quick. See that? Okay.
I love those.
I do too. They're so quick and easy. It just gives you an idea. But when I'm playing a play, you guys, I go into the play and draw my own trend lines. Okay. and where I'm wanting to buy and exit, stuff like that. So this right here is your last 1 year, 1 day. I'm going to get closer than that. We're going to look at the last 6 months. See, nice uptrend here.
Yeah.
And so far, it's staying in that uptrend. It's respecting it. I love it. This looks like a nice play. However, I don't know the news or what's going on with Diddy Global. So, I mean, how much potential does it have?
Well, if you want them, we'll take a look at it. I've already got it up.
Yeah, you can pull it up. I mean, it's one of those penny stocks. Why not sit at $4.42? And if they have more to come, I could see this uptrend continuing. Right now, the smaller cap stocks seem to be on nice runs. I can't say that we can trust them when it comes to the overall market situation, but a lot of them we have seen bottom out already. So it's possible we've already visited those kind of lows, you know? So you got to, if you're in at 280 something, there's no reason to lose in this. You have to set stops and protect your gains if you're not willing to exit yet.
All right.
You got stuff, John?
Yep, I'm pulling it up right now.
All right, perfect.
Hopefully this is the company he's talking about. The chart seemed to fit your description.
That's the one I had.
Yeah, you know, I seen Wanted on the wall. Yeah, he looks like that. Grab him. Diddy Global 442 up a percentage today on the pink. Oh,
it's a OTC stock. I thought it was NASDAQ. I didn't even look.
Yeah, well, I was presuming it was NASDAQ too.
Well, it's doing well.
No green ticks. We have no verified profile, no transfer agent verified.
Oh boy.
No desires to uplist. That is a concern for me.
That is.
Let's see what we got for share structure.
So that makes me think that this is getting pumped, like build up a lot. I don't know. It could be. Let's look.
We're under 300 million. That's the best I can tell you without doing any more deep dive. Financials. Holy mother.
There we go. We got money.
What the hell are we looking at there? $27 billion. Holy cow. This is on the pink. I'll bet you if we dive into this, she got delisted. I don't know. Did she go under it? No, she wasn't under $1 for 6 months.
Let me look. I'm going to go back further.
Oh my God. It's $27 billion. What are they doing right now?
No.
Uh-oh.
No, it never lost $1, John. I mean, it hit 82 cents for a brief period.
Wow. Well, they have had popcorn revenues here. When they're hot, they're hot. $6.4 million the first quarter of 21, but they only got to keep a little over $500,000. $500,000 out of $6.4 billion. Holy cow. What is it that this company does?
I know.
We got no description. Let's see if we got any news. Come on, give us something. Drum roll, maestro. All right. Why did global shares rise? That is our news here. Shares fell.
Yeah.
Seeking Alpha. I'm sorry, folks, but I can't go look at those. Seeking Alpha has blocked me. I got to pay $109 a year if I want them.
Meaning.
Everybody wants me to pay, and I'm not paying everybody. So no, Seeking Alpha don't get my money. So do we see anything else here? Riding Share app has returned to app stores in China.
Diddy. You know what? That's what Diddy is. We play that in Discord all the time.
I just remembered it. It was a year ago that it came on the market, or just before that. It was real hot. Yes.
And then China started with their mess that they were going to overtake it and not allow it to happen, and it failed. It bombed.
God, this is like running into an old high school buddy. Haven't seen you for years. How you doing?
We played this one so many times.
And these Chinese stocks, they are starting to catch some more heat. They are, for some reason, exciting to American investors, at least the penny stock investors. But oh my God, for a car sharing company to make that sort of money.
Yeah, it's like the Uber over in China. I mean, it's very similar as far as I know. The problem is they always pull in something. 1 minute they're all for it. The next minute the government's like, no, it belongs to us now. And so I don't like playing those for too long because of that, unfortunately.
Right. They're hot and cold. Definitely.
Yeah, I like to take my gains when I have them on those and just kind of play them as I can. Same with Baba, same with all the rest of them like that.
GTI. Yes,
I know that one.
We could talk about GTI. And while we're bringing that up, you've probably heard that they were thinking about doing a merger with Created. Well, Created just brought out two pieces of news today. GTII. Created brought out the first piece of artwork for their OG collection, which they have pushed up to the upstream market, and they are now giving dividends, or they're planning on giving a dividend by the first half of the year for their spin out. So if you're looking for some free shares, Created is doing a spin out, not on the NASDAQ, not on the OTC, over on upstream. And they're going to give shares to their shareholders here. So that's something to consider. All right, GTII, Global Tech Industries. We first took notice of this when she was doing tons of trades a day. I mean, she was just smoking everybody else. And she got up to something like, 14,000 trades in a day, which is just unbelievable, folks. That's a hot stock. Well, we were looking at it because she was under short attack, and everybody was expecting her to pop under that short attack. Well, since then, she's cooled down. I'm sure she's still being shorted, but she's taking legal action. Literally taking legal action to fight these shorters, the naked shorters specifically. So is Created, which I found to be interesting considering GTII and Created were thinking of merging. They both took legal action against naked shorters. And then GNS joined on board with that battle too, fighting the naked shorters with legal help. So we could see a huge battle just build up here against naked shorters. There's not enough transparency. Naked shorting is illegal. Us investors really don't see enough information about what's going on with shorting. They need to change it. If they're going to keep shorting alive, they need to make it as transparent as possible so nobody's getting away with murder like they did with MMTLP. Right there, pursuing legal action in connection with trading activities. That has been something they've been pushing for a while here. Created, they're talking about Created, extends no shop period. I guess they're still working on closing that merger up until March 7th, which is a window. That's a window of opportunity. We now have a deadline when something should occur here. So there's something to consider. The closer that deadline, you don't wait till the deadline. It will be a few days before you'll start seeing the price move. And then all of a sudden she could do something silly and it'll be very short-lived. But
they can sell it right off.
Right. Let's see. So they are making deals. GTI is in the game. They're doing things. He's tried to give shareholder value by, I think they lowered the price of their warrants. I think, do they have warrants? No, it was probably Created. They tried to give a dividend as a digital dividend. And FINRA couldn't do it. So they're trying to find ways. But that's a company thinking about their shareholders. You know, they care that they're being shorted. They care that you feel that your shares are going down. He's trying to give you some value. So I like companies that give a damn about me. I just do. Share structure. Let's see what it looks like. Not a bad share structure. At the most, we're at 98 million. Could be down to 75 million. We're not going to complain about that. Financials, nothing to brag about, that's for sure. Probably not even enough to pay the bills. Quarterly, come on. My internet connection is better than that. I want a refund. We're not getting anything up here. Semi-annual, nothing. Balance sheet. Oh, come on. They're hiding the numbers from me. That ain't fair. All right, let's just take a look at disclosure. See if anything is going on. We had a Form 4. That's an insider buying or selling shares. We had the chief executive officer buy 10,000 shares, spent $5,000 at about 56 cents. But he's not selling, so that's always a good sign. So she's in activity. She's fighting for her rights. She's joining with other people who are fighting for their rights. She's got things going on, and we got a deadline here at the beginning of March. What's that chart look like?
Let's look at it. So it's in a nice uptrend. We've looked at this one before, John, when it had all this action right back here. And so this right here, gosh, what when's that? That was in September. So we looked at it around that time. And really, even though it's let go of the trend line, it's still building up, and it's not that far under it. So I'm still going to say this is an uptrend. It just came back down to give you opportunities, and it's starting to build up again. So I don't hate it. So I'm going to get a little bit closer, your 1 hour, see how it's under it. Then it came back in. Now the sell-off here and right here does concern me. That's a lot of red bars. So I would wait. And what I would want, because it came down to 71 cents right here. And this was on the 19th of January. You don't want to see it make a newer low. So if it's going to come back down and revisit these, dollar area, 90-cent area and start building back up, okay, you might want to take a position or a starter position there. I wouldn't buy it on the downtrend. You don't want to sit there and buy on red candles like that. I'll get a little closer just to see what's happened in the last 5 days, 5 minutes. Yeah, I still hate it. Lots of red candles. So be patient. I mean, 5 days ago, 4 days ago, it's $2.98. We're at $1.42. That's a lot of selling, So don't be like, oh, it's a great deal. Let me buy here. You don't know if the trend's going to continue. The downtrend could. So no, you can wait. You got time to be patient for this one. And if it does decide to hover around this area, which will be $1.20 to $1.30, wants to hover there and hold, it might start building back up because it's probably going to come out of this trend line again. So just give it some time. You don't want to see it make a newer low in the last 20 days. So that was 71 cents around the 19th of January. So you got some, it's built up a lot. That's a lot of movement. It's coming back down. Wait for it to start consolidating and see what it's going to do. That's what I would do.
Yeah, if it doesn't actually start pounding down, I would expect it to start rolling back up. Not immediately.
Yeah.
It probably needs a catalyst. Everything.
This right here is just a little ugly. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's ugly.
Red bar. That's ugly. So,
but that's a lot of sellers getting out. They look for the bottom. Look for the bottom because there's going to be a point where all the sellers are out and it becomes attractive to the buyers.
Yeah, and you've also got your MAs or your SMAs that are crossing over, and this is not right. Your higher ones.
The SMAs look horrible.
Yeah, they should not be coming down over, the 100 and the 200. This is another reason that gives me caution. So wait for that to start, finding its bottom, getting some consolidation. And then if it starts trying to ease back up in the 9 days, starting to cross back over the 200, the 100, the 50, now we're starting to look better. But right now, they're backwards.
Left, we got one more stock here. They're coming in just at the right tempo for me. They're coming in perfectly.
Let's do it.
All right. He says it's nothing impressive to look at. ICNM, Icon Media. She's at a low price, but she's just about ready to get into the double zeros. Triple zeros are real slow moving, but
We've looked at this one too.
ICNM. Now, I found already we had a filing come out here, an 8K, and second week of January. It's pretty decent. They are being acquired. The company has been bought out. They've been bought out by this Curora for $125 million. Curora, formerly known as an all-American pet company, ticker AAPT. So there's a filing here that is probably worth reading. Something is going on. It's a Chinese person, Mr. Tan Chin. It could be Vietnamese. I could be wrong about that. But the company has been bought out. It has changed control, probably going to change operations if they had any operations. Let's see what they were doing over here. Got any news? The fifth, Cure Inc. and Icon Media Holdings acquisition transaction, letter of intent. Well, financials will tell us if they're doing anything.
Ouch.
They're doing nothing and a whole lot of it, and they're doing
Ouch.
it real well. But they're not a shell risk. They're a shell company, which is a huge difference. A shell company is just an empty building waiting for a renter. A shell risk is somebody living there and not paying rent. So
Yeah.
this is all okay. Somebody came in and bought the shell company and has got his own idea. What his ideas are, that's what the DD is going to be all about at this point.
Exactly. That's what I was wondering. Do you think, since it's a shell, do you think that because it's building up on the chart, John, very slowly?
Well, let's take a look.
Do you think that might be what's going on because people are anticipating something bigger?
This is the sad part right there. He got 8.7 billion shares in the float.
The authorized shares are scary too.
So if this guy starts to make money, you never know. He may want to do a reverse split. That is a way to put shareholder value out there, but that's for people later, not the people holding now. So that's always a concern. When you see that many shares, sooner or later, it's got to come down. And it's going to be, they could do buybacks. Don't get me wrong. They could absolutely do buybacks. Matter of fact, I think COSM is doing buybacks right now. COSM. We just got done talking about them. I forgot to tell you about that. They're doing share buybacks. That's how you give shareholder value and put the shares back into your bank. You pay for them. You just don't take them. They're probably just going to take them. But we're looking for a short gain. If you're not in it for a long run and you're just looking to make some money, Lily makes it sound like the charts may be right.
You know, it's slow. I'm going to show it to you. So this is 3 years right here. And of course, this is back in 21, back in February, you know.
Of course.
Pay no attention. But it does
have it here.
It does affect the trend. So here we go. It's still building up though. This right here, I mean, you have seen it where it comes out of it. It's coming out of it, out of it, out of it, and it's doing it again right now. Yep. So does it start building back up? And this is also where you have time. You have patience. Do not say, oh, Lily said it's out trend, buy it now. No, I did not. No, I did not. So the last 180 days, totally barcoding the whole picket fence. It's not doing much of anything, but it is touching the point 0007. So it's gotten there, and it seems to be building back up. But it's going to have problems at the point 0011. You're going to keep having those problems until something significant is happening. And until that, I mean, it is in a slight uptrend, but you got to think that uptrend we were just looking at took 3 years to do. So that's a lot of time. And do you want your money sitting there just saying, okay, it's going to do it. I'm sure it's going to go back. It could. It might take about 8 months. I don't know. So 5 day, 5 minute, gross. I don't like it. So I would want it to build up. I'd want to see some red bars. I want to see some volume coming in here. I would want to see this 9 days start to inch back over this 50. That's where I'm seeing, you know, more promise of we're changing and reversing and going into an uptrend. So, and it's trying to maybe do that right now, or it's just going to flatline on us. We're not sure yet. So you have time to keep an eye on it and see. Now, don't get me wrong. You can make a lot of money in the triple zeros. You can. But this is not the 2021 market. So be careful doing that. And the share structure, like John was talking about, you could get in a mess.
All right. We've got 5 minutes left, basically. I just want to catch you up on what?
Talk about some warrants then.
I will. Hey, you read my mind. That's what's scary about women. You always know more about me than I do. I don't like that. All right. You know me. We've been playing warrants a lot here, folks. Let me share my screen. I'm going to bring up the chart right now. This is my, you got it? Yeah. This is my watch list here, right here, folks, for the warrants that I am watching. Every day I find news about warrants. As a matter of fact, let me bring that up right now for you. Twitter profile. I'm just going to show you what I found today because they were on the top of the list today for SPAC warrants making gains. Now, we're not talking thousands of percent gains, but they're still making some very nice gains you should not be walking away from. We got Cool, ticker COOL. That is a SPAC, Corner Growth. They're doing a merger with Noventic. Lots of news on Google about this. That is to close in mere weeks. They've got a warrant. Then we got another one that came out today, CPUH SPAC, Compute Health. They're getting with Allurion, who's making $64 million at the end of the last year. They've got a warrant, GXII. These are all from today. Now, there's 3 of them from today. Of those 3, 2 of them are at the top of the list today, CPUH and Cool. Cool did 140% gains. CPUH did 326% gains. Starting down here at about 12 cents. Cool started off down there at 4 cents. Folks, as soon as news comes out on these SPACs, there's a bounce. The very first piece of news is a guaranteed bounce. You need to be on top of the news if you're playing these SPAC warrants. I mean, you can follow anybody you want, but you're behind them. By the time you see it, the bounce has probably happened. So that is important. Now, that's not the only bounce that's going to come. That was the first piece of news, saying they're in talks. Well, talks have to progress into signing a letter of intent to closing the deal. And there's a lot of due diligence and stuff in the middle doing there. Well, while all that's happening, our stock of $10 isn't moving. It's the warrant. So right now, I've got 13 warrants. I'm putting between $50 and $100 in each one. Had 2 of them already roll over for me. I started off with 6. And I just let my gains buy me more. And I just keep working them up. Now I've got 1 I've kept free shares in. And I'm probably going to do that with most of them because I can buy a share of this company's stock for $11.50 anytime in the next 5 years. Well, where are some of these companies going to be in the next 5 years? And if they don't do anything great, well, they were free shares I bought for pennies. I'm not losing much. But if the stock goes up to $50, I'm going to be happy. Now, something I just learned the other day, and I didn't know this, and if somebody knows more than me, please correct me. But when you exercise a warrant, you get in touch with your broker, you say, I want to buy a share today. I see they're going for $50. He says, great, you got your warrant. Yep, you got $11.50. We'll take that out of your account.
Yep.
Boom, you don't get a share. They put $50 into your account. You get cash. You get the cash for the value of the stock. You don't get the stock.
That's not how it happened with me. I've actually executed warrants. I have.
And is that what you do for you?
I did it with TD Ameritrade, and I paid the $11.50. That's what the price of the warrant was to transfer. The stock at the time was probably around $25. So, yes, I took all my warrants, about 60 of them I had left. I'd already traded them. I changed the 60 into stock. And it costed me $11.50 altogether with the price I had for the warrant. I was in for about $12.75 a share, and the stock was at $25. See,
double your money.
Yeah, but I had to. Either I had to sell the warrant or I had to transfer because they called the warrants, and they can do that.
Yeah, so, we haven't talked about all these little things that can happen.
There are some little things, but when they call the warrants, you're notified. You have to make a move. So I went ahead and transferred mine. And what happened was I was charged, of course, the $11.50, and I was charged like $60 for the whole transaction for TD Ameritrade doing it. So $11.50 or so, I think it was, for each share, and then the $60 as their fee for doing that.
But just so we aren't confusing anybody, the SPAC warrants aren't going to go through any of that because there's not a company yet. There's not a business. They're just not out there. SPAC warrants are real early in the game. Nobody's going to change anything about that unless there's a merger or something.
Yes. These warrants were SPAC warrants, but it had already merged. And this is back in the day when everything was going crazy.
My brother-in-law was into Pono. They just did a deal with the Air Bike. Airwin, a Japanese company. There was also a second Pono. It's called Pono 2. And they're doing a merger with a Japanese medical device company. Well, Pono just changed their ticker to AWIN. Well, the warrants changed too. Well, the merger's over now. It's all done and said. Well, my brother-in-law carried his free shares of warrants over to AWIN. Well, heck, they jumped today from, I think, what was it, 39 cents to $1 or something like that, and then fell back. But that's what happens. Just because the merger's done doesn't mean the warrants are dead. It's just now you've got the stock and you've got the warrant, and you're probably going to be working now on Catalyst News. You're going to be looking for things to happen with the company. SPAC warrants, we don't have any competition. The stock isn't moving. The warrants move. And all that good news is forthcoming. Once they start it, they've got to continue it if they want to make their money. They have millions of dollars of profit sitting there waiting to be taken if they can close that deal. I guarantee you, these people ain't playing no games. They're dead serious about closing a deal. So this is my list here, folks. I know it's just a list. You can freeze frame it, maybe take a screenshot of it. I know there's a lot of work to transfer them and check them all out.
Or you can come see John on the Discord. He'll give them to you.
Yeah, seriously, folks. My Discord group, Penny Boys, I got my own page over there. OTC has its own section, so we don't have to mingle around. And I've got one page where I post all the news on all the SPACs, reverse mergers, bankruptcies, anything I think is important, I put on that one page. So if you really want to hone in on the news, and you know how I am, I find this news quick. Matter of fact, I got kicked off of Facebook yesterday at 7:42 in the morning. They put up a warning, said you have posted more than 50 posts since. Well, I'd only been online for 20 minutes. That's how fast I work, folks. I'm not BS. I am moving around. I've got multiple videos out there. I find a piece of news, I put it underneath every single video so you can keep up with the news and all the information. Well, I try to get this out to you as quick as I can. Before the bell is really when you want this information. You don't want to see it after the bell. Get into Discord. I am putting that information in there. I am putting it on Twitter, but there's a lot of other things around me in Twitter. Come on over to Discord. It's all isolated, clean, nice and easy to read, bulleted. Boy, you can make some money with this information. I can't sell it, but I'll give it away for free.
Absolutely. All right, folks. So here's the thing, John. Somebody just mentioned, I'm sorry, VPLM, GTMKIV just mentioned this, and that one is blasting. I don't know what's going on with it.
Show us the chart. Show us the chart.
Yeah. Oh, hold up. Let me get back to you. So I can do that. Yes. I want to look at this one real quick before we go. I don't know. Just saw the comment and wanted to look at it. So look at this. Beautiful. So it is an OTC stock, VPLM. VoIP PAL. I haven't heard of it. VoIP PAL.
Yeah, VoIP PAL.
You know that one?
I know it. I do.
So January 11th, we're back here at 01. And now we're hitting 11 cents. That's amazing. Wow, what an uptrend. So the last 5 days, 5 minutes. Look at this, you guys. Just gorgeous. Gorgeous. So whatever VPLM is doing or whatever they're into is working right now.
I do not see any recent news or recent filings. They've had stuff in the last 30 days, but I don't see anything right now. But you really do need to add Twitter to your research. Yes. Because a lot of companies talk to their investors through Twitter. And before they put out a news press, before they put out a filing, they can tease you over there. And the teasing, it works. It works. They come out and just say, what's in the box? And they show some dog poking his head in the box. The stock goes up 50%. It's like, for what?
Everybody's hungry. Don't ask me why. It's just, that's how it was working right now. And right now, this one. They're all hungry. So we have a couple of red bars as the day ended. I don't like that, but it's sitting on its 100-day right now. It's revisited that area, and if this trend's going to continue, it's it'll pop back up.
You see what GTMKIV says?
Which one?
He says I called VPLM. Did I do a video on it? I have way too many kids.
It's possible, John. You talk about everything, so it would not surprise me at all. Stock Twits says it's a strong buy, but it's Stock Twits.
Yeah, but it also says,
I'm sorry. That's a joke. I'm sorry.
But it says Twitter has 0 tweets on it.
Zero Twitter feed. That's interesting.
See? So from one forum to another, the buzz can be completely different. You smell hot dogs here, and over here you just smell the bathroom.
I like that comment. Wizard called it. That's right. So, I mean, just
I
things that
hope.
we're looking at, though, guys. It's just stuff that we're trying to help out with. We see and we're saying, hey, look at this one. And sometimes we don't even go back to it. We can't play them all. So, thanks for letting us know, though. That's great. Hopefully, somebody got some games out there.
Thanks for showing up, folks. We love
Absolutely.
doing this. Really like you coming here. And to be honest, I'm not too bothered that we have a small congregation of people showing up. It gives us time to look at your stocks.
And
when
I
we
did
get
drop
1,000 people, what am I going to do? 24-hour marathon?
I did drop the link, John, for, if y'all want to come see John, get more information, the news that he every day he does this. So, and that's the free section of the Discord. Y'all join it. Y'all have a great one. Thanks. That's right.
We'll see you next week, folks. Bye-bye.